Welcome. Let's start off by figuring out how to set up an account on Forge-VTT.com. Once we're there, let's click this blue button to get started. On the following screen, we'll simply fill out all the fields to start a new account. Once you've created one, use the invitation link inside the email. That'll take you to the landing page for the game. Congratulations, you're part of the game now. Make sure and save this page so you never forget where to go. This is what you'll see every time you log in. Now let's start the game. Don't be alarmed if sometimes it takes a little bit to load. All the loading times will depend really on your internet speed, your computer power, and also just how much fancy stuff I decided to cram in the game. First thing you're going to see is this little welcome menu. We can pick our avatar, but we can also do that later. It lets us pick our color, which will identify us in the game, and then after that we can pick our player pronouns. As soon as you're done picking your color and your pronouns, let's go ahead and click the finish button at the bottom and carry on. Now we get to have a little fun. On the right side of the screen you can see that there's a chat bar just like there is in Rule 20. The little message for My Dice Settings. We can go in and we can customize all of our dice with separate textures and colors and really spend some time making them personalized. Finally, we have our character. You can see right here his name is Alex, but with muscles, always showing for everybody on your team. That little green bar is his health bar. You can double click your character. It'll open up his character sheet. You can see here we have all of his attributes as well as his armor class and some information. Over here we have skills and proficiencies. Lastly, up here your portrait shows your current and maximum health, as well as a little button for short and long rests, and one for how many hit die you have left. Right here we have our navigation bar for our equipment, our spellbook, our features, any active effects from spells or buffs, our biography page, a journal where we can keep notes about interesting characters, places, things, quests, and then right next to that we have a downtime page where we can practice skills and train when we're not in combat. Exiting out of the character sheet, with your character selected, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move your character around. Notice his line of sight changes as we do this. You can use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out, and you can right click to grab the map and move it around. If you click and drag your character, it'll measure your movement. You can move around like this, except for not through walls. You can press the spacebar while you're dragging your character and set little waypoints. As soon as you let go of them, they'll just follow that path you marked out. You can see here that we can actually see the cursors of all the other players in the game, so we can see what they're pointing at, what they're talking about. They can make little markers like this, and they can actually even go across the map and drag your vision to look at something in particular, like this door. I think we should go check this door out. You can click on door icons to open the door up, that is, unless they're locked. Just like at the table or in Rule 20, this is a thing that we would need to roll our skills for, so if you open up your character sheet, all you have to do is find which skill you want, click on it, and then you'll get a little menu that pops up and allows you to roll either normal, with advantage, or with disadvantage. All you got to do is click on it and your results will show up in the table on the right. So if we select our character, we can then target the door, and then we can roll our skills using our thieves tools to try to pick the lock on the door. We won't have to fumble around inside of our character sheet to try to figure out how to do that. Now we're going to activate the heads up display, which will automate everything. Hovering right here opens up this menu. We don't need anything except for those crossed swords. That'll make the heads up display arrive, and we can use everything in there. Now that you know how to open the heads up display, you won't have to mess around with any more confusing menus or too much clutter. This lists all of the information you need, your movement, your armor class. It has all of the actions you can take in combat, and if you hover over them, it tells you exactly what they do. Above the portrait, we have empty boxes for equipment, and then we have this little arrow that'll open up all of our skills and tools. You can roll everything straight through here. Just click on it like we did earlier in the character sheet. Select your character again and then target the door. If you go down to the heads up display and click on features, you have an open feature. This is how we're either going to pick locks or break down doors. Make sure you have your character selected. I didn't. Voila! The door is open. Now we can go inside and check it out. Not using the heads up display will let it fade out so you can see through it. Then we can use this arrow up in the top right corner to collapse the side menu. We have a full screen of view now so we can look around and see all these zombies we're about to have to fight. Opening my character sheet and going to the equipment menu, I can see that I don't have anything actually equipped. So if you just go down, you can find where your armor is at, and on the right side, there's all these little buttons that look like silhouettes of men. You click one of those, voila, the armor is on. My armor class went from 12 to 16. Remember those little boxes I showed you above the portrait? Putting items here will allow you to quickly swap between weapon sets. It'll even affect your armor if you have a shield. With the chat bar back open, we can see that the zombies have rolled for initiative. They're ready for battle, so we should probably get that way too. So let's open up the heads up display. And there's a little button right next to the inventory button. That's our roll initiative. Click it and we'll be added into the combat. An icon will appear beneath your character as well as a big message on your screen letting you know it's your turn. To target an enemy, simply click on them. Then go to your heads up display and click on whichever weapon or spell that you would like to use to attack with. The added bonus is that when you use spells, it keeps track of all of your spell slots at different spell levels for you. So you kind of never have to think about it. We're going to drag and drop the template for Thunderwave. And that's it. Now you know everything there is to know, and you're ready to come play Dungeons & Dragons. I'll see you this week.